These are the waiver wire pickups for week 16. Let's kick it off with Ayo Dosunmu. Dosunmu returned to the lineup 2 weeks ago after a calf strain sidelined him for 10 games. After being eased back into action, he is finally getting back to playing close to 30 minutes per night. And even though he ranks right outside of the top 120 on the year, he was really starting to heat up before going down with the injury. In the 9 games he played in December prior to going down, he averaged nearly 14 points, 4.5 rebounds, 6.5 assists, 1.4 steals, 0.6 blocks, and knocked down 1.9 triples per game. And this is on 52% shooting from the field. If he can stay healthy, I think he should be able to replicate this production. I think now is a great time to pick him up while he's still getting his legs back underneath him and while he's widely available in most leagues. As an added bonus, he can be played in both guard spots as well as the small forward position. Number 2 on the list is Max Strus. After being slowed by a severe ankle injury to begin the year, Strus is finally rounding into form, and it couldn't have come at a better time. The Cavaliers have been without Karis LeVert, Isaac Okoro, and most recently Dean Wade, who Strus has been starting for at small forward over the past week. With the extra minutes, Strus has been able to post top 60 value, averaging around 10 points, 6.5 rebounds, 3 assists, 1.2 steals, and has knocked down 2.2 triples per game, on 48% shooting from the field. Both LeVert and Okoro don't have a defined timetable to return, but Dean Wade is expected to miss multiple weeks with a bone bruise in his knee, which should allow Strus to maintain value for the foreseeable future. But even once the Cavs do get healthy, I still expect Strus to have some solid value, mostly due to his ability to shoot, cut, rebound, and playmake. Strus is only rostered in 14% of leagues, and that number should be much higher. As a footnote, you may want to consider streaming Ty Jerome while the Cavs are down bodies. He's been a top 75 player over the past 2 weeks, and is worth consideration in deeper leagues. Number 3 on the list is Harrison Barnes. Barnes has been a key piece for a young Spurs team this year. He started every game and has been a top 90 player over the past month and a top 50 player over the past 2 weeks. Across his last 10 games, he's averaged nearly 16 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 0.9 stocks, and has knocked down 2 triples per contest, and is connected on an impressive 56% of his attempts. He's also been playing close to 30 minutes per night, and while he won't give you much on the defensive end at this stage of his career, his all-around numbers are still reliable enough to warrant picking up and starting until he cools off. He may eventually cede some playing time to younger players if the Spurs fall out of the play-in picture, but as long as they're in the mix, he should continue to see a steady workload. Number 4 on the list is Guerschon Yabusele. The 76ers' nightmare season continues. Joel Embiid has missed the last 13 games with a knee injury, Andre Drummond has missed the last 4 with a toe injury, and Paul George is nursing a finger injury. Not to mention, Caleb Martin has missed the last 10 with a hip injury. Yabusele has been filling in admirably at center and should continue to see a solid workload while Philadelphia is thin. He's been right outside of the top 100 over the past 2 weeks, averaging nearly 13 points, 6.5 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 0.4 blocks, and has knocked down 1.4 three-pointers per game. Now, he is averaging around 2 turnovers and a shot at 47% from the field during that stretch, which is a tad low for a center, but he's still worth streaming while both Embiid and Drummond are on the shelf. Of the injured bunch, Embiid seems the closest to making a return. He has been doing some on-court work, but the rest of the players do not have a timetable for a return. There's also an outside chance that the 76ers slow play things and hold some of their players out until after the All-Star break, which would help Yabusele maintain value until then. I do also want to quickly mention that Yabusele has been dealing with some minor knee swelling himself. It hasn't really impacted his availability, but it's something to monitor whenever the 76ers have a back-to-back. Number 5 on the list is Vit Krejci. In wake of Jalen Johnson being lost for the season with a torn labrum in his shoulder, there will be a huge void to be filled in Atlanta. The expectation is that Krejci, DeAndre Hunter, Onyeka Okongwu, and Zachary Rizache will all see increased run. Krejci is intriguing to me due to his ability to produce in multiple areas and because he's a staple part of their guard rotation. While Krejci did retreat to the bench yesterday, he had started the 12 games prior and was playing some of the best ball of his young career, averaging nearly 12 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 1.2 steals, 0.5 blocks, and was knocking down 2.6 triples per game, on 49% shooting from the field. He's been a top 80 player over the past month, and even if he continues to come off of the bench, he should see a sizable enough workload to warrant rostering in most formats. He seems well positioned to have a nice finish to the season, and I would also keep an eye on Zachary Rizache. They're going to give him every opportunity to produce, and even though he hasn't produced much outside of points and three-pointers, he is still worth monitoring, especially in points leagues. Those are the waiver wire pickups for week 16. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and let me know which players you think we should pick up in the comments below.